Yes.
They use the light na or the light na. Taya light kabisa. Huwa ni light na. Is the
Kono mola magibosa.
area.
Pal magosa light.
Mangusto. Diga, sila ba kasi
Habari zenu? Pesa mko sawa? Yeah. Okay. Okay. So we go? Okay. So good morning. Karibuni. I'll just read a statement and then maybe niongeze moja ama mawili. Okay. So in light of the planned protest tomorrow, the county government of Bomet is a listening and understanding government committed to addressing the needs and aspirations of our people. As your servant, I assure you that I'm deeply concerned and empathetic about the issues facing our people in Bomet, particularly the youthful population. As part of our continuous effort to address the issues concerning the youth, recently we convened a youth conference to chart a path towards reducing unemployment amongst our youth. This initiative, which will be a regular event, is aimed at creating sustainable solutions and providing our young people with opportunities they deserve. And I want to add by saying on the issue of the youth conference, there are some agreements that we made. Of course, the application was open, but we managed to have 1,500 youths attending our youth conference. We made some agreements, and I made some commitment. And in the current budget of the year 2024-2025, we have factored in some money to address some of those issues. Not necessarily in the Department of Youth, because I think there is some confusion when you see a budget assigned to the Department of Youth. Those are just for running activities in the youth department. But when we talk of the budget of the county government of Bomet, it covers everybody. So some of the money are in the Department of Agriculture, some are in the Department of Roads, but all of them, partly, some of it will be to address the youth challenges that we have, as agreed in our youth conference. Of course, there's some communication that has gone out to some of the participants. We are seeking more information, but I think because of the timing, it has been misconstrued that we are actually reacting to the planned demonstration for tomorrow, or protest, or the visit by our agencies. But that is not true. This has been a plan that has been going on, and I'm committed to that, because next year, around the same time, we'll be having another youth conference, and I have a report to make on what progress have we been able to make on the first cohort of 1,500 youths. So I'm committed to that, because I'm equally concerned, because as much as I'm your governor, I'm also your parent. As Bomet County government, we were all along ready to realign our priorities to fit the demands of our young people. We will not abandon this course, which we had started long before the recent nationwide protest, because my government listened to the grassroots level, and I think I underlined that. Following the footsteps of His Excellency the President, Dr. William Samoei Ruto, I'm also fully committed to acting on issues affecting our Gen Zs, because their future is our future. And we must work together to create an environment where they can thrive. My administration cannot ignore that all is not well in our country and in our county. Just like other counties, we have our own issues. However, I can assure all that all will be well, because this government is all-inclusive. While my administration works towards bringing all our young population in the decision table so that we can move forward as a county, I must also warn you of politicians who are now out in Bomet to take advantage of this honest concern raised by our young people. I'm also aware that money has been collected and dispersed to a few individuals in a plot to destabilize the normal government operations and also disrupt our businesses in Bomet town. So let us remain vigilant and ensure that our genuine concerns are not hijacked by personal or political gain, for political gains. So I want to emphasize that point, that yes, we have issues that has been raised by our young people, the Gen Zs. And they have very valid grievances that we must all address. And this is not the responsibility of the president alone. It will not be the responsibility of the governors alone. It will not even be the responsibility of the MPs alone. It is our responsibility as a society. It will all start from our families. So we must address the issue of unemployment. As much as people are looking up to the government to address the issue, all of us have a role to play to create more opportunities for our young people. But it is quite unfortunate when we have a few of our politicians taking advantage of that and derailing the agenda of the young people. It is quite unfortunate, because I'm aware, for example, tomorrow, money has been collected. And the protest has not even been organized from Bomet, as much as I am aware of meetings that have been ongoing. But majorly, the planning is being done from Bomet, which is quite unfortunate. Money has been collected for the leadership of the protesters. Each has been given around 50,000. And for each youth that will appear, they will be given 1,000, which is quite unfortunate. And I want to call upon my colleagues, please, the politicians. I don't want to name names here, but at some point, I think we have to call a spade, and we must come out and assign whatever outcome of tomorrow to specific individuals. So please let us not misuse our children. We are listening, and we want to address our issues. As I have indicated, it is my problem. It is your problem. It is our problem. And we must address those issues. And that is why I've said, as county government of Bomet, we have been very proactive. Very proactive, although we delayed in calling for the youth conference. But that is a message to all of us that we want to address these issues, and we want to address them genuinely, not for political reasons, but because I know I have a responsibility as the governor. I also have a responsibility as a parent because I have children and you are my children. And these issues, if we don't address, this is a time bomb for our country. So we must address those issues. I urge you to reject the temptation to use our chances to further evil schemes. We should call them out and make them aware that their personal pursuits will not overtake the general good of the great people of Bomet. I'm committed to engaging in dialogue with our youth and addressing their pertinent issues. My office is always open. We are ready to listen and act on your concerns. Together we can build a better Bomet for all of us. So, to reinforce the message that I've given to you on the involvement of politicians, part of probably what will be presented tomorrow is an edited report from the Office of the Auditor General, which is a public document. You can log in to the website of the Auditor General and retrieve reports for all the 47 counties. But we have a version that was edited, and unfortunately it was done in the office of the senator, and a copy, and even some of the information has been manipulated to create an impression that we are misappropriating funds. I want to say we have statutory appearances in the Senate, and if there is anything to be prosecuted as relates to how money has been used in Bomet, then we have a forum. I don't fear. I'm ready to appear from Monday to Friday to address issues in the Senate if there are any. We have appeared for the ECD teachers, and there was nothing. It was just hot air, nothing. And I want you to follow and find out from the Senate what was the issue. Yesterday we were in the Senate on the issue of our referral hospital, Longisa, and there was nothing. There was nothing, actually nothing. In fact, most of the issues that had been raised were actually reported to the Senate committee by the Office of the Auditor General that the issues are being cleared. And they were actually cleared, except for the two issues. One was the risk management policy. And the reason why we don't have for Longisa Referral Hospital is because we have an overall risk management policy for the entire county. Longisa Referral Hospital is a new entity when it comes to audit, and they have not adopted our risk management policy, which we have. So each and every entity that is within the county government of Bomet must have their own policy, but are adopted from the overall policy that we have as a government. Secondly, the other thing that has not been addressed was in the asset register, which still is similar to what I have mentioned about the risk management policy. We still maintain a centralized register for all of our assets, which is in the Department of Finance. But because of the requirement now, the changes in the law, particularly on the audit entities, we must decentralize so that each entity maintains its own register. So we have a register, but within the Department of Finance. And then we also have challenges when it comes to assets as 47 counties. In fact, it was just last month when we are handed over a report, a national report on the assets that were handed over from the defunct local authorities to the county governments. We just received the report the other day. In fact, I received, I think, 3 vehicles. Some of them have been given to our facilities, and we are yet to reconcile those records. So those are the two outstanding issues, and we committed that we will do what it has so that before the end of this financial year, we have our records proper. So those are the only two things that were not addressed and still outstanding until maybe the end of this financial year. It's also quite unfortunate when you copy minutes for a committee in the Senate and put in social media. That is being responsible as a leader. And I think our senator should understand better because he's a lawyer. How can you take a document that belongs to a committee, that belongs to a national, a document that is not supposed to be shared to the public? Of course, there are information that are open. But when you take minutes, extracts from the minutes, and post in social media, what are we saying about our leadership and confidentiality of documents? There are things that I don't know, but they happen in the government. And what we're given as public is what we need to know. But other things are meant for office, meant for taking administrative actions where necessary, or even handing over to the relevant institutions if impropriety is confirmed in whatever things that we do, like ESCC and so forth. But you cannot take minutes. And I want to, this may be a doing of these people in the office. It may not be the senator. He's a responsible person and he understands. So please, whoever is handling the page of our senator social media, please be careful about what you post. Not everything is meant for the public. And I've said some of the documents, even the ones that has been edited, there's a public document that you can get from the website of Auditor General. There is nothing to be hidden. Even the other day I was seeing something circulating about how we're spending our money in terms of traveling. See and compare, because it's also a line that we have. Check, don't just pick Bomet in isolation. See how much we have spent. See how much other counties are spending, because my officers have to travel sometimes. But based on the instructions that we've been given and the budget cuts that currently have, we want to follow and ensure that we maximize our budget in terms of matters of development and minimize on the current expenditure. So otherwise, I'm willing to work with all the elected members of this county. And I want to tell those who are moving around, having meetings like the one that were in Sierra the other day, and a number in Chebole, in Kablong, and some of these hotels, that we are aware of what is happening. I don't think that we are also fools. We have people. An unfortunate thing is you have meetings and then they come and report to us. So please, whatever you're planning, evil plans that you have, it should not be actioned here in Bomet. And the business community is worried of your plans. So please, tomorrow, if you are coming as Gen Zs, let us come in peace. And I wish I know the numbers so that we can also prepare tea for them, because they are welcome. I will also put on my best suit tomorrow so that I appear decent and presentable. So, and I must also take a heavy breakfast because I know issues are many and we have to address. But I want to tell you, please, don't involve politicians. Don't involve politicians. Raise your genuine issues, and I hope what was printed from the office of the senator will not be part of what we'll be presenting tomorrow, because I think senator has a forum when we appear before the Senate to address some of those issues. It should not be addressed in a forum where we'll be engaging the youth. So I want the issues, accountability should be a pillar in any government, and I want to be accountable. There's nothing I'm hiding. There's nothing. Even if I hide from you, foremost we are serving God. So who knows and understands our thoughts and feelings and intentions. So I want to serve the people of Bomet in the best way I can, because we are human beings, sometimes we have shortfalls. But I think we must strive at least to balance things and to give you the best. You may not appreciate me now, but I want to assure you that at some point in your life, in our governments, successive governments that will be coming, you'll appreciate me sometimes. In someday. You may not say thank you, but I want to assure you that someday you'll say thank you. So we are doing our best, and I'm ready to listen So come, please also let me know if I need to be in black or white or red, so that I be part of you tomorrow. And if I need to carry leaves and the placards also, I will also be part of you, because all of us are in this and we must address this problem. The only thing, a warning to our politicians, I will not take it lightly, and if you want us to play politics, I'm ready. I'm also a politician, so if you want us to play politics, and by the way, if you want to know what I'm saying and confirm who are the face of these agitators that we have in social media, who are the face of these people moving around, so check the names, and who are the associates when it comes to politicians. If you want to confirm what I'm saying, what is the interest of these people who are associated with some of our politicians in this, Gen Z's, whatever? So what is the interest? I don't want to give you names here, but I'm asking, and ask yourself, what is the interest of these people who are very close to you in this matter? So overall, I want to say chances mumefanya vizuri, not only in Bomet, but in our 47 counties. Of course, one county that has been very quiet is Bomet. I've never experienced any unrests, but that does not mean we don't have issues. We have issues. The only thing difference between us and maybe others is that we've been listening. Why not for this inside salaries? Of course, until the other week, we are having a backlog in terms of salary payment, because disbursement from the national government had delayed by 3 months. So when it delays, of course, our own source of revenue cannot support payment of salaries. And when salaries delay for a ward administrator or a ECD teacher, it doesn't mean the governor is earning salary. So all of us are affected, because we are servicing our salaries using one payroll. So I should also be taking placards to the street to demand my salary. But because I'm part of the government, I'm trying to explain, and all of us need to appreciate the challenges that we are having. Remember what our president has been saying. And if there is one person who is under a lot of pressure, it is the president. He's trying to balance so many things. We are servicing loans that we borrowed. There are projects that are stalled. There are other competing priorities that we have as a government. So sometimes we say better salaries delay, so that we are not put in the red when it comes to servicing of foreign debt. So those are some of the issues that the president needs to sort. So, and that is why, instead of me going to the streets complaining, I want to appreciate the challenges that we have and explain myself and explain the position that we have as a country. So, because those delays is not only about Bomet, it is about all of us as 47 counties. So, and even as we are speaking, we have crossed over to a new financial year, and yet there is money that has not been dispersed from the national government. So we have an issue. Even if you go through today's paper, you'll be able to see how much has not been dispersed to us as counties. So I don't have any other monies to use in servicing salaries. In fact, we have a plan with some of our local banks, but we cannot go beyond a month. So if there are delays for 1 month, they can service salaries for us. But beyond 1 month, even whatever we borrow from these banks now starts earning interest, which gives us a problem because we have not budgeted for those interests. So we have a framework with our local banks, but it cannot go beyond 1 month. So that is the challenge that we have. Speaking up to 30th June, we don't have any deni ya mshahara. Atuna. So everybody has been paid salary. Governor has been paid salary. And of course, nilipata mshahara ya mwezi mbili. So I smiled all the way to the bank. But I must also ensure that my people smile because of the services, because I'm earning courtesy of the taxes of the mwananchi. And that is why I want to make sure that I be accountable to you in terms of what I'm earning, because of by virtue of the position that you've given me as the mwananchi of Bomet. ECD teachers also have been paid, plus their arrears. We made some arrears backdated to July last year. Yeah, I think they were impressed last week, and they explained. And we want to continually improve on the terms of the ECD teachers and all other staff that we have in the county government. Otherwise, we don't have any salary arrears. Everybody has been paid. And I've said when salary is delays, it is governor downward. Because I'm an employee 001 of the county government of Bomet to whatever numbers that we have. So then the other issue that we have been having is the challenge of water, which you will appreciate. It's been there for a while, and we've been struggling with our Bomwasco. At some point, we even invited the Office of the Auditor General to audit how we are spending our money. And it was only that we did that last year. It was only last week when we received communication from the Office of the Auditor General to come and to audit our books, and whether staffing is proper, whether we are collecting money or we are not collecting money. There's also a decision that has been made by our MCAs. So there is also a communication advice that was given by the Senate. This is an independent entity that should be servicing. I mean, they can employ their people, pay salaries, they should be collecting this money. But at the end of the day, I also have a responsibility as the governor, because when there is no water, the first complaint comes to me. And I have an entity within the government of Bomet that should be doing that. So it has been a concern, and we are trying to give a long-lasting solution to that, because one of the reasons why we don't have water is because electricity was cut. Reason, the company has been able to service electricity bills. We have been supporting. And by close of the financial year last month, on that year, June, I think we overspent what was budgeted for this as subsidy to the water company. I think we had exhausted and even exceeded that, because we had to kill some few things within the Department of Water so that we can support the water company. So we are going to make radical changes, and we will be having a committee, a small committee of maybe around 6-7 people, to harmonize the report from Senate, the report that was done by recommendations that were made by Assembly, and probably, I don't know whether it will be fast enough to have a report also from the Office of the Auditor General, so that we have a lasting solution. We must restructure this water company so that we have proper management and a vision company. A lot of our water, I think, we lose over 70% of our water. You cannot account for it, either through illegal connections or leakages in the pipes and so forth. And then to make matters worse, we are not even collecting revenue from our customers, which is also another issue. Or if they are collecting, probably there are a few individuals who are pocketing that money. So at the end of the day, at the end of the month, there is no money to pay electricity, there is no money to pay salaries for the employees. So that could be an issue that has been outstanding for a while. I think they are now in arrears of 9 or 10 months that have not been paid salaries. So those are some of the issues that we need to sort out. And I'm taking a very keen interest in how that company is being run. So I want to assure you that matters water, because now we are doing solarization, and it is going on. Maybe in 1 week, I wish the water people were here. 1 week or 2 weeks' time, we'll be able to have the solars pumping water, and then the electricity will just come in to supplement if it is required, because we have a lot of sunlight in Bomet. We supply that just like other regions that we have in the tropic, so we don't complain about the solar energy. So that will bring the cost of electricity down. And in case, even in instances where electricity is cut, we will have continuous supply of water. Anything else?